Happy New Year and welcome to this episode of the Arts Overlook. I'm your host, Chris Bowden. Each episode highlights the arts and entertainment of the Cedar Valley. As we jump into 2015, many local art and community centers are beginning their next year of programming, and with it come more opportunities for you to get involved. This episode of Arts Overlook takes a look at a variety of different arts that you may want to incorporate into your new year. This edition of the Arts Overlook starts right now.
Art is thriving in the Cedar Valley. It's everywhere. But if you don't know where to look, you could miss it. This is your local arts perspective. This is the Arts Overlook.
Having served the area for over 90 years, the Waterloo Community Playhouse is one of the longest standing art centers of the Cedar Valley. After thousands of shows, the Playhouse is still finding ways of keeping audiences entertained and involved. Their upcoming show is sure to do the same as we jump into one of the most famous political scandals in history while changing up how you watch the action. Here is an inside look at Nixon. Beginning in 1916 as the Waterloo Community Drama League, the Waterloo Community Playhouse has provided thousands of engaging performances for the community. And as the 2015 season begins, that tradition looks to continue with the theater's telling of Nixon.
Nixon is a play. It's a fictitious retelling of the Frost-Nixon interviews from the late 70s, where Richard Nixon finally admits his wrongdoings in Watergate, and we're telling it in a way that is not realism. The American theater likes realism, and this play could be told that way, but I've specifically chosen to do it in a studio form, and we're doing a lot of abstract work. We're doing some video work with it, we're doing some art installation work with it, and we're taking a look at the 70s in a way that I don't think anyone has looked at them before.
What I liked the most was how well written it was. I really enjoyed reading it, and that compelled me to want to be in it. And a lot of times plays aren't that way. It's more of a how do I visualize this show happening, and this one you can really get it just from the words.
And while many remember the events surrounding Nixon's presidency, the Playhouse hopes to bring events after the fallout to light.
When I first auditioned, I was really excited about it because I thought it was going to be like a political play, and it certainly has that aspect. But just what I've learned since I've been in it, it's got the aspect of a Greek tragedy in it, the Shakespearean tragedy, and that's not what I was expecting early on.
There's a very tragic end to Nixon's political career that this particular play really focuses on: the loneliness, the shame, the disrespect he feels he did to his fellow man and his country, that I believe he really loved. If you look at Nixon's presidency, there were a lot of good things that he did, and he is saddled with this one really unfortunate event that defines him, not only as a human being, but as a leader and as history. That's the story. This story is really constantly digging at what is Richard Nixon really feeling? What are his true emotions? Who is this man post all of this?
Rather than creating a caricature of these people in history, actors have been given the opportunity to develop their characters based upon rehearsals and their own outside research. This freedom has allowed them to dig deeper into their characters' personalities to discover the reasoning behind their actions.
For me, playing Nixon, a man I despised my entire life, it's been an interesting experience to try and explore him and find out why he did the things he did, because I certainly can't hate the man I'm playing on stage. And I think what I'm finding is that for a lot of the time, the stuff that he did that I always judged him for, I think he really believed he was doing the correct thing, the right thing for the country. And as hard as that is to accept for me personally, I think I'm finding that that's true, and that's been exciting.
I think it's cool because they're actual people, so we have the benefit of being able to look back at who they were as people, kind of look at them on screen and see what their face looked like at that one part, or like how they gesticulated in this way. So it's kind of fun to be able to pick up those mannerisms, and it makes, I think, for me at least, it's made my job a lot easier.
Unlike many previous shows, the Playhouse is making use of their black box theater across the parking lot from the WCP at the Walker Building on Commercial Street. Audience members will find themselves in a new space on two sides of the action.
It's an interesting space And there are problems with it. And one of the problems are these pillars that are structural in the middle of the room that we are really finding our way to working around. So the goal of using the architecture in the way we've used it is to hopefully at all times give every audience member something to watch. If it's not the main action of the play, there's always something else for them to look at, so they're never feeling as if they're cheated because of the space. Instead of using it as limitations, we're really trying to use it more as an advantage on how we block the show.
I love the intimacy of the space and the fact that some of the audience will be a foot and a half away from the action.
The audience is too close for you to get away with anything. And some actors, big proscenium stages, get away with a lot. So you have to be rooted and truthful all the time. And while that's difficult, it's enlightening, and it's just wonderful to have that experience.
By providing an in-depth look at the defining politics of the late 70s, the cast of Frost Nixon are sure to provide a riveting and immersive performance from a fresh and exciting perspective.
If you haven't been to the Playhouse in a while, come take a look at what we're doing now. If you've been and think, oh, it's January, I don't feel like seeing a drama, come back and check this show out, because there is a lot of humor in it, and it is a beautiful piece of art on many different levels. And if you've never been, please consider us as part of your entertainment fund. Frost Nixon will be running throughout the end of January with only 150 seats available for each show. For more information and to order tickets, you can call the Playhouse at 319-291-4494 or visit their website at wcpbhct.org. It was a lot of fun taking the time to sit in on their rehearsal, and if you have an interest in getting involved, you can look up open audition information for their next shows, Cat in the Hat and Murders Announced, on their website as well. Our second segment highlights a newer community you can join in the Cedar Falls area as we step into the Cedar Falls Public Library. While I have absolutely no experience in needlework, many of my friends have told me that knitting alone is an incredibly popular and awesome hobby. With that in mind, I checked in with Social Stitching to see what this type of art is all about. If you happen to be searching through the shelves of the Cedar Falls Public Library on a Saturday afternoon, it's likely you'll come across a small group of people working on all sorts of needlework and enjoying each other's company.
Social stitching is for anybody who wants to meet other people who like to craft. Any kind of needle arts, crocheting, knitting, embroidery, cross-stitch, sewing if that's your thing.
The group began in September as a way for people with similar interests to come together, socialize, and learn from one another. The group has been growing over the winter and is welcome to anyone in the Cedar Valley.
I've been knitting for 7 years now, and one day while working here somebody called and asked if we had a knitting group, and I said no, but we should. And so I spoke to my supervisor and my director about putting together a regular knitting group, and they said go for it.
Social Stitching provides an opportunity for crafters to network with one another and share new ideas, provide help, and give advice if someone happens to be stuck on a project or looking for something new to start.
All ages, all experience levels. If you're starting out, we'll help you if you can. It's more of a social gathering than an instructional course, but since we have all levels of experience, we can help each other out. I think the youngest person who came was probably 8 or 9 years old, so that was fun to teach a little girl to work on her knitting skills. And then we have people who are retirement age as well, and everybody in between.
The group meets every other Saturday from noon until 4 in the back corner of the fiction section on the first floor. This new group offers a variety of opportunities for growth, and as interest continues to increase, there's potential for even more variety.
Eventually, I would like to bring in some people to teach like beginners classes for knitting and crocheting, maybe later this winter, maybe in the spring, and hopefully that can bring some more people in too, because it's hard to take up a new hobby if you don't have anyone to teach you. And I'm hoping that someday, if I have enough people interested, to maybe have an evening during the week in addition to the 2 Saturdays a month.
And whether you're trying needlework for the first time or been crafting for years, Social Stitching is a new and upcoming community that you're welcome to join and enjoy at the Cedar Falls Public Library.
Come for the stitching, stay for the socializing.
While I still don't know how to make a scarf, I certainly think I may have to stop by again and give it a try. Thank you to the library and all the members of Social Stitching for allowing me to put you on TV. Social Stitching continues to meet every other Saturday from 2 to 4 at the Cedar Falls Public Library. And for more information, you can email the library at cfplinfodesk@gmail.com or call Jessica at 319-273-8643. Our last highlight takes us to the Hearst Center for the Arts as we learn about their upcoming classes, get a glimpse at a messy mornings class, and sit down with a coordinator that started taking classes when she was young and is now helping to develop material for others. If you're a resident of Cedar Falls, it's more than likely you've heard of and even visited the Hearst Center for the Arts. Reconstructed from James and Merrill Hearst's home in 1989, the center has been providing art, entertainment, and classes for 26 years. Many younger residents remember mornings and afternoons spent in the Hearst Center learning anything from ceramics and painting to dancing and acting. One such student is Riley Martin, a Cedar Falls local that now works as the interim education coordinator.
Some of my earliest memories are coming to the Hearst Center, and I mean, Saturday mornings meant ballet class, and that's what we offered here at the time. So it was very interesting to come here as a little girl and get into dancing and drawing and painting and just kind of getting a taste for all of those things. And now stepping in here a few years later, just right out of high school, heading into college at UNI, I thought, what better place to volunteer and get some experience, especially with my art major. So I came here, got some volunteer experience, and then Penny Asbell, who was in the position before me, took me under her wing as an instructor, and I started just really seeing how it changed over the years and how many more classes we had to offer. As she stepped into retirement and gave me the position of the interim education coordinator, I was just thrilled to have the opportunity to take on adding more classes, kind of reevaluating the ones we do offer, adding my own kind of personal touch just with my background in Cedar Falls and with the Hearst Center. It's eye-opening to see how much work went into making the classes that I once took for granted as a kid. I just walked in and everything was ready, and I got to make artwork and take it home and be guided along, and now to be the one facilitating that, it's very eye-opening, very almost liberating, because now I kind of get a chance to use my skills and the things I've learned to teach the kids and really expose them to what art can do in their lives, not even in the art realm, but I mean, it applies to sports, it applies to math, it applies to science. It reaches all realms, and so it's kind of exciting to see that and be able to now understand what teachers were trying to teach me when I was their age.
Located on Searly Boulevard in Cedar Falls, the Hearst Center is uniquely placed to offer an array of events, exhibits, and classes for everyone to enjoy.
We are right next to the university. It's just 10 blocks in one direction, and then we have a junior high in the other direction. We're surrounded by schools, which also makes it just kind of a hub of different choices for so many people. We offer such a range of mediums and specialties and speakers and events, all that. So it really reaches out to a large part of the community, and that's probably my favorite part, the variety.
Workshops and performances are taking place throughout the year, and many of their next classes will begin in early March. With such a variety, there's definitely something for everyone if they're interested in spending time with the arts.
Right now, some of our most popular classes, we have a painter's studio, which is on Thursdays. We have kids classes on Saturday mornings. There's a Lego class, there's paints and prints, there's a ceramics course. We have everything from drawing, which is kind of a two-dimensional art, to sculpture and ceramics, which is more of a 3D type of art. Another class that's coming up in the spring is Zen doodling or tangle doodling. It's kind of a guided meditation, but it's with doodling. It's sort of what you do in a classroom, or if you're at a meeting and you're just zoning out and you're just drawing kind of on the margins, only more guided into a piece of artwork. So we have writing classes available, which is for those who have written for years, maybe have things published, or people who've never really made a story of their own before, or written a poem before. We have ceramics classes for people who've never touched clay. We have ceramics classes for people who could throw on the wheel right as they walk in. All skill levels, all ages, all backgrounds, everybody's welcome because art is for everybody, and that's why we're here.
If you have experience in a certain area or a desire to teach others, you're welcome to spend time at the center helping with classes. Regardless of your skill level, they're sure to have a place where you can help.
People can come and volunteer here however many hours a week they want to. They simply walk in the door, fill out a volunteer form, and I can find a place to put them. We have something for everybody.
With so many new ideas and an ever-changing lineup of classes, the Hearst Center continues to be a great place for members of the Cedar Valley to jump into the arts regardless of your previous experience. And with many leaders like Riley taking the time to invest in the community, young students will have impactful memories of their own to look back on.
I want to make sure that we offer classes for people of all skill levels and all comfort levels, and make them know that they can walk in here and be comfortable analyzing art and creating art and discussing art.
The Hearst Center truly offers a wide range of art opportunities for every age and level of experience. They even let me work with a pottery wheel in elementary school. If you'd like more information on exhibits, performances, classes, or volunteering, you can give them a call at 319-273-8641 or visit the Hearst Center's website at www.thehearst.org. That's all for this episode of the Arts Overlook. As we begin a new year, I encourage you to keep looking for opportunities to get involved as we continue to look at the art and entertainment available to you in the Cedar Valley. I'm Chris Bowden, and thank you for watching.